Dear Mother and Father, Finally, the circus has arrived, and I've never been so excited for anything, it feels like, in my entire life. Does that sound a little extreme? Well, consider. Since most days of my life revolve around mostly silent individuals and relatively silent surroundings, cloistered, literally, from the outside world, the opportunity to see and interact with people that are as unique and exciting as members of a traveling troupe? What could be more engaging than that? Finally, they have arrived, parking their unicorn-drawn wagons. I can't actually prove that the animals are unicorns, but they are all white and preceded by great horns on their sharply angled heads. The romantic side of me wants to believe that everything I'm about to see will be real and true, but I know it can't be true. Even as I write, I hear the musicians on their unique-sounding instruments playing and diddling amongst each other, trying to make some kind of music together, though that is not their intention. A quick visit to the gate, through which we can easily view the group and their baggage, reveals brightly lit packaging, wagons, and flourishing beasts. The performers are not dressed up, having quickly torn down from their travels for the night. But I expect that this week will reveal some of the most fun I've experienced in quite a while. I spent a great deal of time atop the wall, just gazing at the scene before me. There was a smaller creature being led around by a leash, which I could not accurately make out in the falling darkness, but I'm hoping it's some kind of monkey. Maybe an orangutan? Maybe not. I'll not get my hopes up for nothing, so I'll have to be careful. For some reason, my letters seem to get through much faster than yours, as I am just hearing about little Fenton's taking up writing. Please have him be careful. I know that his other siblings will try and taunt him to do all sorts of dangerous activities. Please, also, as you receive these letters, do not forget about the seeds that I requested. I'm sending along pods that you can use to grow the green flowers I mentioned a while back. Hopefully, they will grow well in your climate. A rather unique thing has happened as of late. Something is missing from the Abbey. The something in question is a rather singular vase, wrapped in legible text that is of another language, kept always on display at the front of the chapel. The vase itself had no major spiritual value to the monks around me, but the vase also seems to have drawn much attention to itself by being stolen. How curious. To go from nothing to something. And all the thing itself had to do was to be removed. It's like we notice the absence of something more than its presence, as if the idea of a thing matters more than its physical presence. Anyway, on less philosophical notes, the vase having gone missing has prompted a slew of grapevine questions, ranging from the ludicrous to the near believable. Where, indeed, is Brother Langley? Is he the culprit? Wherever he is, though he is nowhere to be seen? Have the rogue beasts of the forest, like goblins or another type of creature, stolen through our abbey and taken the vase? My question, of course, for that is, why would the creatures take the vase? Isn't there something else that could be taken instead? Something of more value to them? A vase? Really? And aren't goblins attracted to gold or something? I have not a clue. Yet, still the spot for the vase stands empty, free of its former occupant, forming an ever-present irritant in the members as they gather daily. Now, parents, aside from the fact that I'm talking about it so much, truly, I could care less about that vase. To me, it looks like an ancient bowl, or maybe a chamber pot. Nothing worth much fuss over. I believe one of the brothers, Brother Stimpson, is rather handy with clay, and he can fire up just about any piece that might be necessary. And it so happens that Brother Stimpson is also a rather gifted linguist, speaking several different languages in addition to fluency in penmanship and writing for those languages as well. He could probably try his hand at replicating the vase from the top to the bottom. But that is not for me to decide. What somebody deems to be important is not for me to choose, just as the monks do not dictate how I decide my own convictions. Each of us must make the choice in his own heart, just how he lands on truth. And if truth means that a certain vase is of great importance, then of course it is appropriate to wonder and search after said vase. But if truth is singular, shall we say, which indeed it is, then all truth-seeking takes on a certain doom-like quality. like with the vase. The vase then becomes a thing of greater meaning. See, if the monks are right, then I ought to focus on finding the vase myself. I say doom, referring to importance, something that cannot be skipped. And that is the essence of truth, is it not? I am not convinced they are right, nor that their truth is correct. Therefore, I act as I do, respectfully, learning and growing as I can. I get sidetracked once more. The point stands, but you did not open this letter to be soliloquied on the ways of the universe. Indeed, since we believe the same way, parents, it is almost a waste of words to describe such things to you. And as it is, I may not have explained it very well. So, as I often do, I'll close with the tale that happened, though it is the culmination of several weeks. Overman Simmons promised the whole Abbey that if anybody would beat him in a foot race, he would instruct Brother Hamish to cook them a special meal that night, just for them. Now, you might think from that description that Simmons would be quite the speedster. But that was the whole of the tale. No one could guess why he would make the gesture to offer to race. By appearances, he would probably lose, as he is not young, yet not old, riding that cusp between age and youth that is hard for a young person such as myself to predict. Nobody has taken him up on the challenge. And why the challenge? Why the lack of response from the members of the Abbey? Why does nobody challenge him to a race? I personally do not do so, because, as you know, my stature probably keeps me from beating him, assuming his speed is not to be matched. But even those taller than me, who are fit and trim, seem to lack any interest, or at least the nerve, to challenge his challenge. So, the tale is still incomplete. For the challenge to race and beat Overman Simmons in a foot race remains unmatched, unmet. Meaning, of course, that Overman Simmons, and this is crazy to me, Overman Simmons is technically considered to be the fastest person in the Abbey by default. Is that important? No, not at all. But it makes me wonder what things I can challenge others on so that I can be considered the best, even though I have neither the claim nor the aptitude to do so. It's like you're a living legend, but all you did of note was to challenge others publicly after lunch. I love this place. Sincerely, your darling son, William Thanegood. P.S. I almost forgot. Theo is feeling much, much better.